think I'm gonna do it like a little bit different. Today I found a new lady. She's actually a lawyer and she keeps up with cannabis and hemp laws across various different states. So we're about to actually watch one of her videos. I haven't seen any of her video at all whatsoever. So I don't know how well she delivers content based on how she looks, and the leaks could be deceiving. But based on how she looks, like she seems pretty like straightforward. Um, so I'm gonna put her up really quick, and that's her right here. It's something Davis. I mean, she'll probably say her name in there, but this right here is gonna be an update on the laws that just happened between May and June, and then I think she has one for July that we can watch as well. So gonna put this on. Um, yeah, man, sit back, roll up, type shit. Pretty much the saying per usual, per usual.
Here comes your May-June 2025 state compliance update. Hey, I'm Morgan Davis. I'm a health and wellness attorney based in Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's talk about how to keep your business protected and thriving. Folks, are you tired? I'm tired. I'm tired. It's been a very busy 30 days and it's not slowing down. One of the biggest needs in cannabis and hemp is an ongoing understanding of all the different regulatory changes and legislative changes and enforcement actions that are constantly going on. Some of them are easy to find, some of them are hard to find, some of them you never see coming. So my gift to you and to the industry at large is once a month, I do these lovely state-by-state updates where I give a summary, basically, of the actions that I think are the most important from the last 30 days or that I see coming up in the next 30 days. So today is June 18th, 2025, and here is your update. Regulatory changes, i.e. the stuff that has actually changed or is about to change. Alabama, we've talked about this in previous videos, but just a reminder, as of July 1, Alabama turns off for online sales for the hemp industry, turns off for all smokable products for the industry, and everyone will have to be licensed. If you're a manufacturer, if you're a distributor, you're a retailer. Lots of other regulations in terms of labeling, packaging, etc. Most of
Bro, I ain't gonna cap, bro. It's like if you can't do online either, like, bro, Alabama basically saying like you can't sell shit. Like you can just grow it, but you can't sell it. That's crazy.
that won't go into effect until January 1, and most of the enforcement, the teeth behind the new regulations also will not go into effect until January 1. Kentucky. As of June 1, beverage is dead in Kentucky and will not be revived until the Kentucky Liquor Board, ABC, comes up with regulatory framework, essentially, that allows beverages to come back. From now until January 1 of 2026, you can sell certain beverages in the state of Kentucky at events in wet territories. Other than that, no sales of beverages in Kentucky.
That would make sense, bro. Especially with like Kentucky bourbon and whiskey and all type of like other different drinks that they have with the alcohol situation. Like I can see why they confiscated that, bro. That like they're not gonna let you have any type of THCA drinks or nothing going on. That makes sense in Kentucky.
Florida. Just a reminder, this is not a law change, but this is a regulation change. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services changed regulations back in March. They will go into effect, did go into effect and are being enforced as of June 16th of 2025. It includes prohibition on specified color additives. Go into the regulation if you're unsure. There's a list of them that you absolutely cannot have in your product, and then there's a list that you can have, but only if they're used for flavor. Well, only if they're used for anything other than color. Enhanced labeling requirements, QR codes. QR codes, you got to be able to actually get to the certificate of analysis in less than 3 steps. Mandatory child-resistant packaging, that is a national standard. It is very specific. There is a guidance document on it. So make sure that your packaging is in compliant with that child-resistant packaging standard. restrictions on marketing and advertising hemp products as attractive to children. They've ballooned that definition, meaning it's much broader than it used to be. And there are lots of packages out there for existing brands that have cartoons and psychedelic colors and characters that may fall within the FDAC's new wider definition of attractive to children. So, time to audit your packaging. Tennessee, effective January 1, but you need to start getting ready now. Similar to Alabama, D2C sales will turn off. Everything will have to be going through a manufacturer, distributor, or retailer. You will, much like the 3-tier alcohol system, all hemp-derived products will have to have a 3-tier system. There'll be mandatory labeling and packaging. Retail sales may only be conducted by licensed retailers and only.
I was thinking about Tennessee too. Whenever I was talking about Kentucky and the drinking and, you know what I'm saying, bourbon and whiskey and whatnot, I could see Tennessee kind of falling. Like Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, they seem to kind of be like on the same little. And like I said, like this is my first time ever hearing her or even keeping up with other states that I don't really live in that well. But all in all, I mean, like everything that she says makes sense from like a larger standpoint.
To 21 plus. There's also excise taxes and milligram limitations. One last thing, THCA cannot exceed 0.3% by dry weight. It's their attempt at getting rid of THCA flower. No products with THCP will be permitted, and any other synthetic cannabinoid. Delta 8 and a few others are specifically
Tennessee is
allowed
not giving you any kind of leeway,
but
boy.
a few others that may fall under synthetic cannabinoid that are not could be at risk. So time to start looking at your product offerings, your labels, and at getting a license if you want to be able to continue to sell in the state of Tennessee. Proposed changes and legislation we're watching. The biggest one everybody's talking about is Texas, right? We've been talking about it for months. SB3, the total ban on hemp in the state of Texas, total ban on THC anyway, passed both chambers and is now sitting on the governor's desk. He has until the 22nd. That means 4 days from now to decide if he is going to veto the bill. Lots of rumors going around, lots of innuendo about why the lieutenant governor is challenging the governor, and it's great political theater. Bottom line is in 4 days, we're all going to know one way or the other. If he vetoes the bill, then we live to fight another day in Texas. If he doesn't, it goes into effect September 1, and essentially all intoxicating hemp products in the state of Texas, and really all hemp products, period, are banned. And the enforcement is real. So it's going to be a very, very interesting turn of events for the hemp industry. New Jersey, if you remember back in the fall, there was.
Well, we do got spoiler alert, right? Because this already happened. He did not ban it. So Texas is good. They did not ban it. Spoiler alert. But Texas is one of the states that I keep up with. That's really important to me based on my situation. So shout out to Texas, man.
Was a law that passed that would have essentially shut down the hemp industry for a period of time. An injunction was issued. Funny thing happened with the injunction. It was not a full injunction by the court, but the CRC, which is the regulating body in New Jersey, decided to stop itself from implementing the majority of the law at the time until they could parse out what effect the injunction would have. Now there are two bills sort of that look to be two different ideas on how to readdress the law they passed in the fall, fighting against one another in New Jersey. There's Assembly Bill 5068 and there's Senate Bill 4509. The preference for most people in the hemp industry is Assembly Bill 5068. It's a regulatory framework that would continue to allow most of the products that are already there to exist while requiring licensing and labeling and all the things that we consider, common sense regulations we're all happy to comply with. Senate bill does address some of that, but also kills direct-to-consumer and kind of allows for out-of-state manufacturers to obtain licenses, though that's not clear. So looks a lot more like the bill that passed in the fall, which none of us want to see revived. California. Man, California. All right, so California passed an emergency regulation last year. And that emergency regulation has been in effect. Essentially, the entire state of California has been off for hemp for months now. Supposed to sunset at the end of the summer, beginning of the fall. Well, California Department of Public Health has issued an announcement that they are seeking to make the emergency regulations permanent, meaning a permanent ban on any THC products outside the regulated industry in California. It's currently, the public comment period is open. It's open from June 13th until July 28th, and a public hearing will be held on July 28th. If you are in California, if you want to sell in California, please, please, please submit a comment. Please. Ohio, SB 56 is a bill that would put the majority of the hemp industry into the regulated industry in the state of Ohio with a carve out for beverage. Some good things, some bad things. It's up for debate this week. We'll see if it actually gets anywhere. This isn't the first attempt at Ohio to try and do something like this. North Carolina, my lovely, lovely North Carolina, where I am based out of, we have less than 15 days left in the legislative session. And per usual, at the end, we love the drama here. We have had a beautiful regulatory bill that we've all been working on for years to adopt common sense regulations in the state of North Carolina. And everyone was hoping it was going to pass this year. Now, at the 11th hour, there has been a proposal both by the House and the Senate in that would basically eliminate all products other than those that contain Delta-9 in the state of North Carolina, and significantly lower the existing milligram cap that's proposed. There's no milligram cap in law right now, but the one that was proposed was significantly higher. The one that's proposed now is 10 milligrams. Would kill THCA flower, would really kill anything, because they've redefined prohibited consumable hemp products to mean anything that contains any amount of any cannabinoid other than non-intoxicating cannabinoids other than Delta-9. So you'd essentially have to have a straight.
And like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's what's gonna make it so difficult. How they're trying to change the wording again to where it's gonna basically include everything. You just shut the whole thing down. Like, you're not gonna be able to do pretty much shit.
Delta-9 product only, other than a ratio CBD Delta-9, CBN Delta-9, CBG Delta-9. Everything else is gone. Again, we'll just see how the next 12 days go. And finally, the U.S. House of Representatives had a subcommittee hearing and a markup session for what will now be Farm Bill 2026. And the Miller Amendment, or the total ban on THC that was proposed earlier this year, has been revived and is circulating around the House as they work on the federal Farm Bill for 2026. Enforcement actions, as if there wasn't enough good news. So, in anticipation of, I believe, it's just my thoughts, in anticipation of SB3 passing, in the last 2 weeks, there have been mass raids of major wholesalers and retail chains all over the state of Texas. And it seems to be a coordinated effort. There's a lot of belief that law enforcement's trying to grab all the cash while they still can before all these businesses potentially get shut down. Who knows? But it's big.
Yeah, I mean, on some Kanye shit. Like, I'm gonna let you finish, but like I'm about to super dive into that, because I was seeing a couple things like that, like some raids or whatever going on, but I was looking at it as more so like normal, and I thought it was more so street, not them busing dispensaries, and basically, because like that's like extortion at that point, like, right? So you're gonna basically bust in, take all my shit, all my money, all my products before or while we're in this gray area with the law, to kind of like finesse me, or even probably make like some people are gonna probably quit after that, or can't even like afford to even bounce back after some shit like that, bro. So that's gonna be really interesting to see. After I finish this video, and I got like some, I'm gonna take a little quick break to do something else I gotta do. But nah, like I'm gonna definitely make a video about that. We're gonna see what the fuck's going on today.
A lot of big actions in Texas. We're going to be doing a video this month about how to prepare for a raid if you are a hemp business. Go see that for some tips in case you're in Texas or anywhere else. Missouri has last month issued a cease and desist letter on several hemp companies selling products that the Attorney General believes are prohibited under Missouri law. Big question mark about whether or not the Attorney General is right about that, and there doesn't seem to be any enforcement going on other than the cease and desist letters. But good to know that certainly the AG in Missouri seems to be interested again in going after hemp businesses. That is your update for May-June 2025. I hope this was helpful to you. If you find that this is not enough for you, that you need further assistance, and you're a company that sells in more than 10 states, then my practice might be very helpful to you in trying to navigate such an ongoing, changing patchwork quilt of regulations and trying to sell your products in as many places as possible. Give us a call. We'd love to help you. See you next month.
But yeah, bro, I'm gonna find that video that she's referring to about the raids, and that shit's probably gonna be, that video is probably gonna be fire, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit already sounds fire. So yeah, bro, let me get to that, man. Hate to let you guys go, but it's only for a little brief second, man. You gonna know, bro. I'm probably gonna do a shit ton of videos, bro, and you gonna tell, because I'm gonna have this hat on every step of the way, dog. But alright, man. Till next time.